Okay, so we look at Mafia, the definitive edition at 21:9. The Mafia series has never been perfect. The second title was good, but really shows its age nowadays, and the remaster didn't exactly change it in any meaningful way. The third game stood out as the best of the three for many reasons, but due to technical issues like poor frame rates, it really made it a hard game to enjoy playing. However, now the original has been truly remastered, the award for the best game in the series, I think, very possibly returns to this. This is brilliant fun. But anyway, regardless of what you think of any of the games, let's have a look at the 21:9 support. So the gameplay fully scales to 21:9, showing off more on the sides of the screen at all moments, and there is a large FOV slider from 40 to 90. It really is a large range. However, a lot of stretching will be visible on the sides as you go above like 75, so it might be best to hold off pumping it up too much. The HUD scales to the sides of the screen, and there is a settings option to actually change its position on screen as well, with a lot of flexibility. The only shame is that the damage blood indicator only uses the 16:9 screen space. Cutscenes are a mix of infrequent ultra-wide moments and frequent 16:9 black barred moments. However, I'm sure a fix for these will emerge in the future, and I'll update the description with that fix if it does appear. The main menu is ultra-wide, showing a gorgeous view of your apartment at night, and in-game menus are ultra-wide with the map, etc., all using the entire screen space. Finally, loading screens are 16:9 with black bars. Performance-wise, this is pretty good, but not perfect, with one massive issue that lets the entire experience down: VSync. With it turned off, the game is unutterably stuttery. Even though the frame rate would stick in the 70s at all times, it would have screen tearing on a G-Sync panel and just feel like a 30 FPS game. Insane, but not surprising seeing as this is exactly the same problem found in Mafia 3. Seems that they didn't bother to fix it in the passing years. The only solution is to turn on VSync, which, whilst it does smooth out the experience, it means the game is locked to 60 FPS, which is just a massive shame, as you'll likely be able to run it over 60 FPS even on highest everything settings. Why this is an issue that they have let perpetuate through multiple titles now is crazy, but yeah, I haven't seen anything on how to fix it. There are a few graphic settings to tweak, and they generally do have a meaningful effect on the performance of the game. It's nothing stellar, but it's enough. But like I say, all you need to do is get over 60 FPS, because any higher is pointless. And this is sad because the game is really beautiful. The world is totally redone to bring the city and surrounding countryside to life, literally making it barely comparable to the original game. It's just such a dramatic change. It's always a massive shame when the work has been done to realize such a great, immersive world, but the technical side of the game holds it back from truly being possible to enjoy in all its glory uninhibited. General PC support wise, it's kind of the same story as the graphics options. There are a decent set of settings to play with, full controller and mouse and keyboard support, nothing mind-blowing, but easily good enough. It should be noted that there are some nice touches, like most settings options having a description as to what they do, always a useful bit of info to have. One shame though is that the menus are very sluggish. They don't immediately jump between each other when navigating, and the map screen especially runs horribly, struggling somehow to stay at or above 60 FPS, which is just crazy when the game world can stay above those figures. You can turn off the initial launcher, which I don't get why it's even included, to be honest, because the settings there are missing some options from within the game anyway, so you have to enter the settings menu when it's loaded up in order to finish making the changes you want. It would make sense if the game needed you to restart it to apply certain settings, but it doesn't, so yeah, there's that. So if you haven't played any of the Mafia games, then you are in for a great treat. Whilst it's an old game, the remaster allows you to experience this with a fresh 2020 view. They took the original title and more than just upgraded the visuals. They fleshed out missions, tweaked missions to play better, updated gameplay, added new character lines. The voice acting remains on point, the story is equally great, and what's interesting is that the original game, the second as well, both were clearly aware of their lackluster open worlds. Their open worlds were more of a backdrop to the story, and you were expected to kind of just go from mission to mission without cruising around the world on your own a lot, because there really wasn't much to do in the city. Very different to what you think of from an open world nowadays, coming from games like AC or GTA. But with the remaster, whilst the world still isn't brimming with things to do like those aforementioned titles, it is realized so beautifully that you really can take your time to just take in the sights in a way that wasn't originally expected. Yes, it's a small world by current standards, but the story weaves itself through its limited scope artfully, and thanks to not being an overly long story, you don't feel like you're retracing your steps too much. Mechanics like shooting, cover, general movement, and especially car handling all feel modern and pretty fluid. They are still a bit clunky, but it's totally forgivable. The car mechanics especially are lovely, feeling heavy and cumbersome, fitting for the era, and nothing as stupid as a lot of Ubisoft games think that driving should be. GTA has proven time and time again how driving mechanics should be, and this game thankfully has taken note of Rockstar rather than Ubisoft's approach. All in all, if you played the original, then you should play this. Your nostalgia will do flips seeing the changes made. And if you never played the original, then this is the perfect moment to do just that. It really is worth it. Like everyone else has said a million times already, this is how to do a remaster well. Lastly, I'm going to give it a WAF score of 3. Whilst gameplay and the harder ultra-wide, there are a lot of 16:9 cutscenes that pull you out of the ultra-wide view, so I really can't go higher. Anyway, I hope that gives you some information how the game runs at 21:9. Give this video a like if you found it helpful and subscribe for future info. For any of the games at 21:9, head over to my channel, the WAF website. Hopefully I've covered it. If I haven't, then leave a comment down below and I'll try and cover it. And if you'd like to support the channel, links to my Patreon page in the description. Amazon affiliate links are there too. See you later.
A funeral. You see the justice in that?
I see a job I gotta do.
Such a professional. Just try to finish the job this time, huh? First time I've been to a church in a while.
I'm gonna guess they're still singing the same songs.
Last time I went it was. Same songs I always heard as a kid.
Yeah, you're not the religious type.
It's the funerals, Tom. That's all it ever is.
You're a dead man walking.